What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Another edition Holy Try Football Podcast. It's me, AY, coming from the beautiful state capital, the blue state, the Commonwealth, Pennsylvania. To my west, Deberg. How we feeling, Dan?
Yeah, good. From the Hugh Freeze hospital bed here. I did put the picture out as on the Twitter today. I did contract COVID-19. Happy to report mild symptoms. Well, harsh symptom last Thursday, but other than that, it's been mild. So fortunately, nobody harmed. It doesn't seem. No other positives, so that's good. And just riding out the last couple of days of my quarantined isolation, and also happy birthday to my sister. Weird to button the COVID story with that, but
the somber
news.
Ending on an uptick.
That's right. So yeah, we're here and excited. I don't know if I'll be able to go Saturday. We're gonna play it by ear. I'll probably try and get tested tomorrow again just to make sure, but should be good to cheer on an undefeated Holy Try team, 1 of 3.
We are on a great start towards PRs and PR and Holy Try total wins.
That's right.
We're shooting for personal best.
We're just skating by over here.
You're doing your part. You're doing your part. Just barely.
To my east. Ditt's back in the office recently. How we doing?
I enjoyed it. A nice change of pace. Something that I don't think I'll be doing full time again. But 3 days of it this week wasn't bad. I enjoyed change of scenery. Helps that the office isn't too far away, about 20 minutes, 25 minutes door to door. So had some interesting conversations and had some fun activities. And now I'm ready to go. Got the day off tomorrow. We are Happy Valley bound for the greatest show in college football.
The co-game of the week.
According to some, like Herb Street.
Co-game of the week?
Game of the week, yes. Whiteout. I'll give
it co-billing because we still do have Alabamar in.
Right. Oh, I thought you said Coke.
Florida.
I was
no,
like,
co-game of the week. Excuse me.
I thought you meant Coke, like the Coke Zero fan zone or whatever. And that was the double entendre with a whiteout of Coke.
Well, I'm just going to get this out there now. You'll be on screen 2 Saturday night.
Okay.
Due to the Bristol
Big
night
racing?
Race. Bristol night race, yes.
Bristol. Oh, Dave might be watching Bristol. Dave will be tuned in. You know Dave will be tuned in.
What if you look over at Dave's live? He's watching the Bristol night race on his phone.
That'd be good.
I'll ask him about. Dave's got prime front and center this week. All the pressure's on him. We know friend of the podcast, Joe, and the tailgate that usually goes on there is on hiatus due to some complications, some scheduling difficulties and whatnot. So Dave is the main show. He's on the main stage. He is the big tailgate.
My gosh.
He is
slept a wink this week.
Oh man, he is. I don't think he's nervous, but this is it. This is it here. Everybody's gonna be there.
If he's not, he's posturing.
Oh yeah,
he's definitely nervous.
He's ready for all the criticism. He's ready for the critiques.
No, you guys have to give him a hard time.
Central Columbia's very own Ryan Novak will be there.
Oh boy,
he took the last spot after Kevion Boxelsberger had to bow out this week. So
what happened with him?
I don't know. He said he couldn't make it. He's celebrating. Maybe he celebrated a little too hard after that upset in Orchard, whatever. Is it Orchard Park?
Orchard Park, yeah.
Yeah.
That's disappointing. He's missing the game. Wow. I'm surprised. Bad job by you, Kevin.
Kevion.
Yeah, Keji. I think his name's Keji now instead of
Keji. What's Keji for?
Najee.
Okay, I see. Kevi maybe. Keji. Kavita.
If he did Kevi or Keji anyway.
Oh,
good job, Steelers also.
I look forward to a full rundown on
On Dave's tailgate. I know that younger
The leaders of the
AY,
game, yes.
young AY, fresh off playing cheerleader last week, will be in attendance with Delos, Tuesdays, and hopefully an abundance of other good assorted goods. I know he's always good for it.
Don't shortchange Drew's role in that race because
not just cheerleader. He's probably
he was reporting from Pitt Row at 11 o'clock at night.
Oh, he was also yes, Holy Tri correspondent as well. Yeah,
absolutely.
Sure.
He did go through 20 in the middle of the night. 5.5 hour trek.
Yeah.
Wow. There you go.
And let's not discredit Auker, who rode a bicycle and drank about 12 beers.
Oh my gosh.
He's lucky he didn't get a Dewey.
He picked me up. I met him on the trail. He was drinking a beer on a bicycle.
Oh my gosh.
Did you partake?
No, I was at mile 36.
Might have been a nice boost.
Would have been.
Whole crew there. All the Usina brothers were.
And DY as well. Dan was there as well as Hannah, right?
Yes, good crowd. So I look forward to this Dave report.
Now, AY, before we get into that, we have to, I guess, bookend the recap with your race, which you did finish. So congratulations to you. Do you think you will do what next? 250?
Wow, they have those?
Is there even such a thing? I don't know.
240 is the most I know of.
Do you want to do an Ironman?
No, I think we're going to downshift.
Yeah.
Probably forever.
Yeah. Thank goodness, because I was pretty concerned. I was more concerned, not so much about you having the endurance to finish it. I mean, you got to think, if bears were smart, they would go after people that are in the middle of a 100-mile race.
Yeah, you would not be able to run away. That's for sure.
That's the type of thing, or a coyote, packs of coyotes. Anything.
That really
I don't know what type of
wildlife.
I don't know what type of wildlife you were.
The most dangerous thing was, I think, three porcupines.
Oh wow! Okay.
So 4 skunks too.
That'll slow you.
Yeah,
slow you.
Yeah, the thing I would worry about the skunk is catching the fumes. Then we start to vomit. You're already exhausted.
Right. I think I would prefer getting stuck with a porcupine than getting sprayed by a skunk.
I did reach a point around 85 where I did think I was going to start throwing up.
The skunk would have put you over the edge.
Oh, for sure.
So, well, that's good.
That's good. Congratulations.
Off, as
Great
I said.
job. Yep.
Thank you.
But it is really speechless.
It is Yom Kippur today, right? Mazel.
That's right.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
It's not a happy Yom Kippur for those.
Per our resident Jewish correspondent, Roth.
Yeah, does Roth work with evidently 9 Jews?
Why is he not happy?
He works in a predominantly
It's
Jewish
a day
office.
of atonement, or it's like an atonement period.
Well, you fast for 25 hours. It's no food or no water is the issue.
We've all seen
no water is crazy.
We've all seen the infamous Entourage episode of Yom Kippur where.
Right. But the sun was still up. Do they go by a certain time?
I guess just sundown.
I don't know.
Yeah,
you probably have to go by. You probably have to get lucky and hope that the sundown time's earlier.
Right.
Than it would normally be. I don't know, but it's Rosh Hashanah is what I was thinking of.
Rosh Hashanah is a good
That's
one.
the New Year. That's the Jewish New Year.
That was last week.
Festive.
That was last week.
That's more festive, evidently. So
I've got a funny story. Maybe I'll tell it after. About Rosh Hashanah.
Okay.
Okay.
Ready to get to some news and get into last week a little bit?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, firing off first. Well, literally firing. One of the longest running jokes of the pod has come to a head. Pelton out, and USC will not hire a search firm to find their next coach.
Bone knows what he's doing.
I don't know why these places hire search firms to begin with.
as a scapegoat, right?
Yes.
If it goes poorly.
I guess yes. That's exactly it has to be because you would think every AD has some sort of list in their head at all times.
Yeah,
Most
that's something that I'd be
places-
interested in.
What do you think the percentage is? There's only it's definitely far greater that the coach fails, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So how do any of these search firms stay in business? The track record's got to be
paid.
terrible.
They're paid, like I said, they're essentially a paid scapegoat.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you know that they've got a bad record, why would you go to them?
Probably because they just do all
keep your job longer.
and they probably just do all the groundwork, all the vetting. Yes, that's all. That's pretty much what they do. They just do all the stuff that no one else wants to do.
All the paperwork.
You give them a name, and they go and run some checks, references.
I'll tell you who's doing the USF basketball background checks. It's Mike Brown. They've been coming to him. He told him no to Chucky Atkins.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
I did not know
that. But yeah, I mean, obviously the big name you guys are all hearing is Penn State coach James Franklin. You've heard his name for the last 4 years, I feel like.
I'm not really hearing it.
Urban's already been mentioned.
What did you think of his response yesterday at the press conference?
Yeah.
Very matter of fact.
Yeah. Body language was emphatic.
He's like, why the fuck did I take this job?
I heard some interesting stuff listening to some people. It sounds like the president of USC, even a couple years ago, wanted no part of Urban when he was at Fox, and Helton was still on the hot seat as he's been for the last 5 years or so. USC president, I forget her name, but wanted zero parts of Urban. Too many issues, too many scandals, and I think USC was going through their own scandal at that time. So wanted no parts of Urban.
Bieniemy also, and then
Bieniemy wouldn't make sense also when you think about it. He's an NFL guy. He wouldn't be able to get in there till January at the earliest, right? He's in a playoff Super Bowl contender,
right.
Potentially February. He's definitely going to miss the early signing period, so he's doing no recruiting.
I do think they need someone who is available already.
Exactly. Well, yeah.
I don't know if they're going to go that route, but I think it would be in their best interest to do that.
Either somebody that's available already or somebody that can literally leave the second after the season is done or the regular season's done, right? If that's they so choose.
Depends on how much you want to, put into the first class there. I mean, it's
but
really good.
The other interesting thing I heard about it is nothing will happen, and this is from coaching circles, it sounds like. Many expect Edo to be done after this year. And it sounds like USC, nobody's going to do anything with the USC job until that LSU job is set, because that LSU job is the plum, what's the expression? I don't know. Something with the plum.
Something with the plum.
Yeah. Something with the plum. The ripest plum. That's the plum for the picking.
I know what you mean.
And it sounds like if that one comes open, and nobody's going to take the USC job without at least putting the hat in for the LSU job. The guy's worth their salt, right? But who knows? And then Bone, being from Cincinnati, sounds like he put a call into Fickle. Who knows if Fickle would go out there? He's got deep roots in Cincinnati and Ohio, right? So interesting stuff. Definitely. I mean, what do you guys think of the decision to get rid of him literally 2 weeks in? It's not like you learned something new about him in these last 2 weeks. Why do it 2 weeks into the season?
I think they're just waiting for a terrible loss.
Yeah. We've never been able to figure out the last
it's not like you learned anything new with this Stanford loss.
I know. I think it's just a really bad loss.
They were down, 42-13?
Yep.
Were you guys up for that? Or AY, you weren't. You weren't.
I was not. Well,
AY was up, but you may not have been watching. You definitely weren't watching.
I was up. I found out Ock said that Oregon beat Ohio State. I think he told me at like 8 o'clock. And then Andrew did tell me Notre Dame won around midnight.
Did you know how they won?
He just said Notre Dame scored with a minute 30 to go.
And you've watched the highlights since, I assume?
I went back and watched the game. Yeah.
on the
Gross.
cock.
Absolute grossness. We had the cock in the stadium. We were watching the cock in the stadium. Were you listening to music the whole way or nothing? You weren't. What were you listening?
No, about the first 15 miles. No, and probably miles 15 to when I met Auker at 36. I had music, and then from there on out, no music. I had Auker from 36 to 50.
He was talking to you.
Oh, the whole time. He did not shut up once. And then he went 14 miles with me. Then Ham went 5.5 on the bicycle. Ross did 18. He didn't really talk. And then Andrew didn't talk. But the last 3.5, Auker ended up walking with Andrew and I. And he talked the entire time then too. At one point, he talked to me like a mile, like 98.5. And I said to him, I go, I'm not gonna talk anymore. And he goes, oh, you're just gonna focus. Good. that was my clue to him to shut up. But he just kept going.
You're just gonna focus, huh?
He's talking about the dumbest things.
I heard Ock was he's threatening for the Michigan game at Penn State, and Joe's like, I hope he doesn't ask me for a ticket. I'm not giving a ticket to a Michigan fan.
Valid. I mean, that's a
but
valid.
It's not like he hasn't given tickets to Ock before, who he knows is a Michigan.
That is true.
A Michigan game.
Past precedent would suggest otherwise, that he would give a ticket to a Michigan fan.
Exactly.
He'll lighten up. He'll give him a ticket.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. So gross. Dan, you didn't stay up for that game?
I did not. No, I didn't make it up. I was so sick of I was actually borderline nauseated with the Washington effort against Michigan. Speaking of Michigan, that I had enough. So,
is there a worse offensive coordinator in the country? Power 5.
I can't think of one. He is
Vanderbilt.
The Don offense is just oof.
Do you think Lake has another year if they do terribly this year? They give him another chance?
Yeah, he's really. I mean, they obviously had a lot of, including myself, had a lot of belief in the.
It's not like the cupboard was bare,
right? But this has been. It was fine. They were fine last year in the 4 games they played or whatever, but
they won the North.
Not great so far.
They won the North.
They were unable to participate. But yeah, so this is a big. Not feeling great about my 2010 Virginia Tech call for them.
That was gross. Correct. All right. Well, we spent a bunch of time talking about Helton. What we got?
Yeah,
what else we got here?
We'll fight the rest of these. Our boy Djokovic out for the year probably.
Tough one.
That's tough for BC. John Emery out also. Some false registration.
Bad classes apparently. Registered
registration. Not good look there. Whatever. Now some off the beat ones. Alcorn State canceled practice due to no training staff.
That was bad. I saw McNair's brother going off about that.
Yeah, not great there. Portland State's Bruce Barnum will buy you a beer if you go to the game this weekend. Not just a beer, your beer. They play Southern Oregon. He wants it to.
Will he be there handing it out, or how do you know he's buying it?
I guess he's gonna take all the bar tabs at the stadium and pay for it.
Not just one beer.
No, he's gonna buy the beer.
All the beers.
All the beers.
Good job, PSU.
We'll
the
see
real PSU.
We'll see if he caps that or what. But yeah, so they play Southern Oregon Saturday at 2. And Maryland is not canceling classes Friday afternoon. So
didn't work out well last
on
time.
October 1st. So plan accordingly when Iowa comes to town.
Did not go well the last time they tried to do that. Though I could see them winning that game.
They're not bad. But I saw I'm sure the boards are on fire. The comments, people are outraged. Big game, lost on open until 4:00.
Ridiculous.
One more note here. I guess two more. The FCS top 8 remains unchanged with Sam Houston on top. And week two results are in. Dan,
familiar order.
5 and 6, lost your lock with Washington.
They couldn't even give me the backdoor push. Pathetic.
Sorry about that. Yeah. Can flying the flag again. 8 and 3.
Penn State let me down. They covered
with a lock with Pitt. Myself 8 and 4, and the formula with FIU lost in overtime. So
okay, that's not it. I was going to ask. I forgot to check that. I forgot you did that.
Yeah, they lost in OT.
Gotcha.
So 8 and 4 for me. Tossing out week 0 because
I don't want to toss it out. You guys shouldn't either because I think you both had winning records. I have to go back and listen, and I
think Cam and I were both 3 and 2.
That's what I thought too. I know I had the bagel.
And Dan on Vibe. So their updated standings with week 0 for the year. Dan 11 and 18. I am 19 and 12. Can 19 and 10. What a clip.
Ground to cover.
So see if we can keep that rolling as we head into our week 3 preview.
Those were all COVID symptoms, by the way. My picks those were COVID symptoms.
Now you will be on the up and up.
That's right.
We have 10 games this week, possibly 11, depending on your luck. 1 game of the week, 6 Sparty. We're all in action. So we'll do the 1 game of the week. If it's a game of the week, I guess by rankings, numbers. Bammer, Florida. I mean, I don't want to call it the game of the week, really, because just the way
it's not.
Look.
Game days at Penn State.
Yeah.
It's the Co game of the week, not the Coke. The Co.
The Co.
Big Nude is in Lincoln or Norman. I don't know which one it is.
It's in Norman.
Norman.
That thing did not make the cut.
Did you make the cut?
It's 22 points or whatever, right?
Yeah. I guess we could if you wanted to, but
I don't have a pick on that.
Well, I have
no interest in that.
I would take Oklahoma in that one. I might lock that up, but
all right.
Continue on.
Well, Bammer, Florida. I mean, Florida have any shot here? I mean, I feel like Dan Mullen schemes up some good offensive plans against Bama.
Yep,
they do.
I believe they won last year.
Go ahead.
I mean, I was laying out to you guys. Dan, what do you think?
Oh no, okay, yeah, I believed in it last year in the SEC championship game. I just am a little bit concerned about Emory Jones as opposed to Trask talking there the last couple of years and you'll remember LSU as well in 2019. They probably gave them their best game.
That was a 42-28 game, and it wasn't. I think it was 28 at one point.
Yeah, exactly. So, but no, yeah, that's why I'm going with Alabama. And it's just too early to really get some, I would say, a ton of confidence in Emory Jones. He did some nice things in the bowl game, but other than that, I don't really know. This is a tall task even at home. I don't know.
There's a more than quiet contingent that wants Richardson in there.
Yeah, I can't say I blame them.
I don't blame them either.
Just with the style of quarterbacks, Mullen has done better.
A Dak
maybe true dual threat, whereas I don't know. I think
versus the Trask last year.
Yeah, but I think Emory Jones would still fall into like a singular threat from what I've seen in terms of his running ability, but not so much from a passing standpoint. But maybe he's just waiting to show us all. So he could certainly shut me up, but I think this will go the way of a 38-21 Alabama win, something along those lines, if not more points. Because we know the defense. I mean, the Grantham. I mean, the defense Grantham has been porous for years now, irregardless of where he's at. So
Yeah,
those are my thoughts on this
He
game.
is the ultimate blitzer.
he's a Brian Van Gorder, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Everybody knows how funny he is. He's a Madden player that blitzes all the time.
Exactly.
But
Emotional blitzing syndrome.
emotional blitzing. I listen. Alabama's good, right?
Thank you.
But thank you. Yes, I'm looking at that Miami win. I don't know. We didn't actually review any of last week either. But you come off the week 1 where everybody thinks of something, and then you see the week 2, and then it kind of reinforces, or you got to change your opinion on a lot of people. You see, like the Oregon, they obviously held a lot of stuff back against Fresno State. You see, Alechinator held some stuff back against Louisiana Tech. Came out, had a very strong showing against NC State. Alabama, I think people rightfully still think they're good. I think Miami in their week 2 performance showed how shitty they are, imposing their will. But again, I don't know. Alabama, I think this is a Florida isn't by any means, amazing yet. They didn't really look too good against South Florida, but I think they were definitely looking ahead to this game, and I think they'll come out strong. I think they'll eventually get stiff-armed to the end, but I'll take that hook. I hate doing this, and I love betting favorites, but I will take Florida to cover that 14.5.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not messing with that. I'll take Bama with Dan. Emory Jones just needs to show me something, and this is the best Bama defense in the last 3 years.
That Miami offense is ass.
They have been bad, and now they have a stiff test this week, which we'll get to. But I'm not messing with Bama yet.
Yeah, it is not good to bet against Bama. I will say that. Bama minus anything is usually the holy try stands, right?
Good. Now, hopefully, I can get a game on you here. That'd be nice.
Yep. Well.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
All right, let's get to that Sparty Round.
Crap Thunder.
Speaking of Sparty, so we're going first.
Mm.
Traveling down to Miami. Fun.
Why is Miami still ranked? How is Miami still ranked?
I don't know.
It's because ESPN has the ACC network.
Yeah,
We're in the Sparty Round. Give me Sparty. They're +6 here going down to Coral Gables. No cats in the stands this time around. No luck for the Miami side. We got Michigan State +6. In fact, I'll go Mel money line.
Money line, wow. I can't go that far, but you have to pick Sparty in the Sparty Round as is customary. And yeah, I think this early hype is for real with Michigan State.
I saw somebody was talking about a 9-win season for them.
Hold on there. But in terms of returning to responsible football, competence, whatever you want to call it.
You're saying 7 or 8 wins?
I don't even know about that much, but still.
6 or 7 wins.
It's better than 3 wins or whatever the hell they had, 4 wins. Actually, would they have 2 wins last year, maybe?
Well, it was less games.
Less games, yeah.
One of them was to Michigan, though.
Yeah. So.
Anyway, where are you going?
I can't pick Sparty, so give Miami by 7.
All right.
Okay.
AY does have a long-standing history against picking Sparty.
I think King plays well. He hasn't played well yet.
Okay.
Game. What time is this next game? Because I'm ready for it. I'm here for
I think
it.
it's a nude.
This is a nude, yeah.
I think it's a nude.
This is what I'll be watching. Cincinnati against Indianar. Hoosiers getting 4 at home here with the bounce back last week. I mean, they weren't playing Iowa, but Cincinnati looking for a big win here. Look, this is the first of their 3 stepping stones this year as far as padding that resume.
The pillars, the 3-game season for Dan.
Yep, this is a big one for them.
Did you see how Cincinnati's last game went?
Very sluggish.
They were tied at halftime 7-7 to
Murray State.
Jaws Murray State.
Jar.
Look ahead.
Jars.
I did see they played them, yeah.
But then they won 42-7, I believe. A couple of really gross games from last week. Did you see that Texas A&M game?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. That'll be addressed at some point here.
Okay. Well, I'll address thoughts there. But Cincinnati, I don't know. I don't know if I believe in Indiana. The 4 is a little too low for me at home. I'll take Cincinnati here for AY's strength of schedule. I know he needs all the help he can get now with how shitty his team has been looking. So we'll get Cincinnati here. We'll win by 10 points, 31-21, and they'll be around that. They'll be higher ranked than Notre Dame going into that game.
They were going to be anyways.
Unless they lose here in Indiana.
They're not losing here. Cincinnati's nice.
This is quite
Talking up that SOS.
That's right, yeah.
I just don't think Indiana's good. We're on Iowa week 1 and saying they were
coming back down to earth. They're coming back.
Overachievers last year, and I think that continues this week. Cincinnati, unimpressive, but lunch pail win, 23-17.
I'm not just doing this to try and make up points here on you guys. I had this. I'm doubling down. Hoosiers. Here's a heartbreaker, 21-20. Hedging P move.
Onions.
That's right. I picked them week 1 also, so.
All right, okay.
Averages.
All right, good game just south of us here.
We got the old Big East here.
Virginia Tech at West Virginia. Mountaineers laying 3 here.
Yep. This is the tricky. This is the angle that we talk about it, and I'm never right. I somehow remarkably the 20% it loses. I am on the home, or not even the home, the unranked favorite.
Yeah.
But I'm going Virginia Tech this time.
Yeah.
I think this is a little bit legitimate what they've done this early on, because I also picked them to beat Notre Dame. So
it is interesting. Virginia Tech, I think they're decent. Fuente's decent. The question is, are they better than Taulier and Loss? I don't think the offense is good enough. I think there could be some stops here from Neil and Ty. I think it'll be close. Nip tuck the whole way. I think it'll be a good game. I'll take a last minute touchdown drive for a heartbreaker for Ty. Hedging P move here. I'll go 28-27 Virginia Tech.
Oh wow. Well, they're underdogs.
Oh, sorry.
So this is
So you got them outright? Yeah.
I had it, yeah. So yeah, I'll take him outright then. You're right. I had it the other way around. My fault.
I mean,
AY on the other end always manages to use this angle correctly.
Yeah,
so I think I know where he's going.
I don't even need really I'm taking the angle here. I'm taking the unranked team, favorite over ranked team. It does. I don't know how it works. It does.
It really is 70. It's got to be at least 70%. You read the stat at one point.
Yeah, it was.
It was
years. Extremely high.
Yeah,
and I guess I'm gonna back Daggy. Sling it.
This is a game that West Virginia typically does win. I'll say that, but maybe just a little bit too early and too closely removed from the
Taulier
performance against the Bow.
Yeah, the Bow.
Great. So,
all right, 2 teams that are on fire here.
You think 11? No, that's it. 11? I guess Stanford. Their body clocks are not good. Their body clocks are not good. I'll tell you that.
Stanford at Vandy. Vandy somehow only laying 11.
Stanford.
Stanford. I thought about locking this up, but I will not.
Stanford.
Yeah. This one's one of the smarter games of the year, but this is easy. We're all on Stanford.
How much do you think Vanderbilt's going to be favored against UConn?
Oh, we're gonna pick that game, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be about 17 would be my guess.
That's
That's
bad.
it.
That's it.
UConn is. Oh, how about Gers last week beating Syracuse? What a defensive performance that
Oh
was.
yeah, 3 turnovers. They logged another 3 turnovers.
Chopping away. Yeah, that was special.
We'll have to get Gers back on the slate next week.
How about Gers laying the 60 on Temple, and then Temple would they lay like 40 something on Akron, I think.
Oh yeah.
They beat them by like 40.
Okron is terrible as well.
Okron, one of Auburn's.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Yeah, you knew it all comes back. It all comes
I
back.
knew you were getting.
It all comes back to the whiteout.
I knew it. All right, 2 more here, Sparty. Oklahomar State, Boise State. I'm fired up for this game.
9 o'clock.
I believe so.
Maybe this will get some TV2 time for you, AY.
Oh, Danny Dimes just
He
2
bolted.
rushing.
I think it's coming back with a holding penalty,
You're right. Yep.
but way down the field.
Yeah. This could fight for TV2. Yeah. I'm ready for this. Boise State. I got Boise. I got Bachmeier here. UCF game they shouldn't have won. They didn't win, but I think this is a decent team. I mean, it's Boise State is serious, but yeah. And I usually pick against the man. So
Yeah, I'm going with the man, formerly with the mullet, right? The mullet is gone.
It's gone. It's gone.
And for heaven's sake, Spencer Sanders, can you do something? Have a moment.
He may not be able to do anything.
I don't think he's. Maybe.
There's my handicap for that game. Spencer Sanders, do something. And, the Bachmeier was pretty gross against Malzahn, let's be honest.
Yeah.
And this is who won this game a couple of years ago. This is the second time these two have played. Let's see here. If there is a revenge angle in play. I think Oklahoma State beat him.
Did they?
When was this? 2018? Ads. Yeah, wow. Gundy hammered him by 23. That was 2018, though.
I'll go Gundy again. I'm going Gundy. Dan, you're Gundy also?
Gundy also.
All on the Gundy. All on the man.
No, I'm on Boise.
You're on Boise?
Yeah, I like Boise here. And Arizona State, Jaden Daniels and company traveling to BYU, laying 4 at the Mormons. Did you guys see that the T-shirt gate?
I didn't see it.
Oh, jeez. A BYU Utah game last week. A Utah fan made a T-shirt. I think it was about quarterback, the old QB Max Hall.
Mm-hmm.
It's about having no caffeine in his Coke. I only caught like half of it, but it was a huge lightning rod story about because I guess Max Hall is battling some crazy drug addiction.
Oh, jeez.
And he put his face on these T-shirts, and he's just talking about basically doing cocaine and slipping up, and it was just a big controversy about that. And I guess Max Hall's wife chimed in and slid in the DMs and was posting screenshots.
Holy shit.
And then BYU people were donating to a certain charity, $26.17 for the final score. As like a troll job about this. Yeah, I didn't. I was gonna put in the news and notes, but it was a little too deep for that, so I didn't really read it.
Yeah,
all,
absolutely. Yikes. Well,
if you get lost tonight or tomorrow, you can look it up. It's pretty easy to find. That being said, we have Arizona State is laying the 4, and this Pac-12 South now is kind of wide open with USC.
Exciting.
With USC losing, I guess with USC losing, Utah not looking as good, is Arizona State going to take the reins, or is it going to be
UCLA.
UCLA, who's looking like they're on fire.
Or could
It was a tough game
USC
against Fresno.
could USC pull the NO and rally and have a great season? Now everybody on the USC boards are like, all right, let's go win this thing. They got a huge win in their sales now. They got rid of Helton and they're like, all right, let's go win this whole thing.
Yeah, so I mean, this
Amazing.
is at a conference for Arizona State, but I do think they.
What do you think of BYU's schedule? They're just all over the place. They're playing Utah,
Back to normal this year.
Arizona State. Getting ready for that Big 12 schedule. That's what they're getting ready for.
They do
That's
play
right.
everybody.
I'm going to go with Herm here. I frankly don't think BYU is that good. I know they took care of business against Utah, which is a nice win, but I think a little let down here after their big rivalry win. I'll take Herm here with the cover. So let's go by 11 points. I'll go 35-24.
Another hedging P for me here. I got Herm 31-28. Another crazy game. Home dog.
I'm with Ken here. I think BYU peaked last week. Maybe not peaked, but played their hearts out. Good for them. Good win. And I think Arizona State, Jane Daniels is a little bit too much this week. So give me Sparky.
Sparky.
And that does it for Sparty. Our games this weekend. Dan, you're Big Noon?
Big nude with the Western Michigan Broncos coming to town.
Our games are spread out. So go ahead.
Yeah, so I'll start with last week. What a Jimmy V of a game that was. 4 hours. Had a great dialogue going with Roth.
Big. I watched the highlights yesterday. Big, extended highlights. That touchdown before the half was huge.
Oh, yeah. Yep. And abysmal start, really, with the blocked punt and ineffective offense. A lot of missed tackles. All that said, I'm trying to think if I want to get rolled a defensive disappointment. It's certainly near that. But 27 points, Josh Heupel offense. It's just, I mean, with those guys that they have all new to the system and it just patchwork. I'd say it's a defensive disappointment, but it's only week 2. Fortunately, now Pitt has 3 games before they get into the meat of their schedule. This week included against actually a tricky team for sure, and then New Hampshire and Georgia Tech. Very winnable games to hit their stride. That said, offensively, other than the first quarter, obviously scoring 41 points, it was pretty impressive, I felt, really against doing that against anyone, especially with some of the offenses Pitt's had in the past is impressive to me. Kenny Pickett looked pretty solid and still can't run the ball. They had, I think it was 45 carries for 96 yards, which is atrocious, but not to be surprising with how they ran the ball. Not that great against UMass either. So that's the area to improve. Secondly would be defense, just tackling a little bit better. Ken, did you know Patrician is 25 years old?
I did. I told you he's a 7th-year senior.
I knew that. I knew he was been around forever, but it was just jarring to hear a non-BYU player saying that he's 25.
He is Saquon Barkley's class.
He's like almost 25 and a half, too.
Yeah, I think he's old for his year also.
It was like in May or June he turned 25. Anyway, he had a little bit of a rough game.
I thought he was doing well. Carlo and Whippy Winsider were talking about him being the original highlight reel.
They're Central Catholic guys.
I know.
He showed he could have taken a step onto the field and they would be saying that. No, he missed some tackles. Secondary missed some tackles, but entertaining game for sure. It was just completely drunk, as Roth and I both.
What was going on? Yeah, with the first couple of drives with Pitt.
No, the Vols were ready to play. Pitt definitely was not, and probably the easiest block punt in the history of man. Pitt's first drive. I'm trying to think what else.
Who came in from Milton? Who's the other quarterback?
Hendon Hooker.
All right. Hooker.
So they're both definitely average at best. but both athletic guys, and they both made plays with their legs. Those are the big plays that they got offensively. I mean, Milton is just airmailing balls, and Hooker, not as much of an aerial threat. So there you go. That's my all over the place recap of that game. Western Michigan, though, they've got a team coached by Mo Lester, aka Tim Lester, in his 5th season, taking over for Fleck. So that's always good whenever you have a guy hanging around at these schools. Maybe not too good. Maybe he should be getting a better job, but certainly better than the coaches that'll let it all fall apart after these group of 5 schools lose a big name coach. They were very close to winning their division in the MAC last year. Blew a 14-point lead to Ball State, who ultimately won the MAC. I don't know if they would have beat that Buffalo team or not, and they bring a ton of guys back, including which I found interesting when I was listening to a preview of this earlier in the week. So I'm trying not to steal too much, but I will say there are 2 Pitt players, former defensive backs, that are in their secondary. So it makes for an interesting dynamic. But then all their skill position players, I didn't dive deep enough into the offensive line and defensive line per se, but quarterbacks back, running backs are back, receivers all back from last year's team that was at least solid in a 6-game season. So tricky spot, and I don't think Pitt covers what do we have, 14.5, 15? 15. We kept it at 15. I would go something like 27-17, maybe 31-21. I'm not super nervous, just because I think if Pitt's able to go beat Tennessee without playing what I think their best game could be by the end of the season, then I think they could do something similar this week. But we all know what has happened in the past. Hopefully these guys are different for the sake of all of us Pitt fans. And then we get on to New Hampshire, we get on to Georgia Tech, bye week, and then pretty big spot going to Lane Stadium in mid-October, excuse me.
Good win last week. Good game, fun game.
It was interesting.
I'm going to side with you here. Pitt by 13. Workman-like, no real sweat. Give me 31-18. Panthers.
Thanks for proving me wrong also to them.
Yeah.
I obviously picked against them.
PJ Fleck is not walking through that door. I think Pitt's going to start rolling here. I got them at 17, 34-17.
Okay. I'm up. We're gonna pick this next one at 7.5. What a juicy number there. That is. Purdue
big rivalry. A Shillelagh's involved
traveling. Again. Yes, it is. First meeting since 2014, I believe, in Indy. Purdue travels to South Bend. And the Irish told them and their drum to beat it.
I got it.
The world's largest drum will not be in attendance due to the inability to fit through the visitors' tunnel.
Amazing.
Which is new from the last time Purdue was there was 2012. The tunnel's new, and they are not allowed to come down the main tunnel. So there's a little extra gasoline on the fire for the in-state rival. But all jokes aside, Purdue has 2 very good players, and David Bell, the receiver, and George Karlaftis, the end. Very good, very, very good. Bell's going to have at least 130 receiving yards, you would think, with the way Notre Dame's defense gives up big plays this year. They've already given up more this year than they have in 3 years under Clark Lee, as far as 60-yard plays. Not great. If you take out the 7 explosive monster plays, which I get it. You're taking out 7 huge plays. The other 100 some plays, Notre Dame's given up, I think, 150 yards. So it's very, very, very much boom or bust. Notre Dame's not first. They have 10 sacks in the year. They have how many tackles for loss? I think 16. They're top 5 both, which is rare. This is unprecedented territory. But then again, they also are giving up 60-yard plays like they're handout to the soup kitchen.
That they're still getting used to the system. They're still finding their feet.
Yeah, 2 series in a row. Sure, they look like the best defense ever, and then next series, 2-play 80-yard drive. That's not ideal.
And the turnovers too. The turnovers aren't good.
The other dumpster fire is the offensive line,
Yeah.
and I did a bit of a deep dive this week on that from 2 different sources. And
what have they been since Heinstedt left?
They've been fine. I mean, look at last year. They put 4 guys in the NFL.
But were they all Heinstedt's guys?
Yes.
So
I mean, he's only
We're all Kyers guys.
He's been gone for. I think this is year 4 he's gone.
That's been that long? Wow.
Maybe I believe so. It's not good. Carmody should be back this week. I'm not sure if that's good or not, but Blake Fisher's out for a while. Rumors of Jarrett Patterson, the center, moving to left tackle.
Not to be confused with Jarrett Patterson, the running back at Buffalo.
No, not to be confused. Kelly said no shuffling. I think he might walk that back a bit. I wouldn't be surprised to see Patterson at left tackle. Move Z Corral inside. Kane Madden has been awful, which he's on some of these preseason All-America lists. What's up with that? Therefore, the running game has suffered. Cohen is immobile as can be. He looks like Tom Brady back there without the arm. And besides that, the receivers are stepping up, and the offense is actually kind of fine. So Isaiah Foskey is nice. Bertrand's nice. It's just a hit or miss. Will Buckner play this week? Yes. How about that spark last week? That was fun.
So do we know that they benched Conehead and then he got his revenge? Is that what happened there?
It was kind of just a ignition into the like a little sparkaroo.
Yeah.
I guess it was
not a true benching.
Supposedly it was pre-planned.
Right, which is obviously easy to backpedal now.
Easy to backpedal now, yes. I think for Cohen, I hope they did tell him ahead of time, hey, we're going to give him some run here. Buckner looked good. Toledo had 9 points on offense going into the fourth quarter last week, and then obviously had the – can you imagine if Toledo's quarterback would have stopped at the 5-yard line?
I was saying he should have freaking just gone to the middle of the field, position, run the clock out, kick the field goal. He wanted all the glory, not a team player. What a fucking asshole!
I didn't read anything. I was watching highlights the next day.
I was so mad,
and I saw that, and I'm thinking, like, my first thought was, oh no, like, what if he would have just stopped right there?
He should have.
Oh, absolutely.
You never know with college kickers.
It's true.
But Hedging P, I'm happy. Holy Try, personal best is still, onwards and up.
Yeah, I'm sure you are.
For all our wins. Yeah. I'm a win-win situation for Cam.
So that's a big vomit recap and sort of preview, basically saying Karlaftis is going to be very hard to block. He's going to have at least 2 sacks for sure. Notre Dame will probably have 5 sacks themselves because Foskey's awesome, but they'll also give up at least one 60-yard play. I hope just one.
To Bell. Bell is very nice.
Bell is extremely nice. Hamilton will have a pick.
Will he take his helmet off and make me mad?
No. Botello's back this week. He'll have an impact. Bertrand will have an impact. And Notre Dame will
roll.
Get it together this week. so we can get a better number the following week on Wisconsin.
Do we want a better number? What do you mean?
If you want to bet, you do, because the Badgers next week will beat Notre Dame. The line is just too bad, which is weird to say. But Notre Dame gets it together this week, wins 38 to, I'm going to say 38-17. If they really get together this week.
I like it. I'm doubling down on that.
And then a little bit of false hope. I know Cam will be giddy next week with all this false hope going to Wisconsin. And I'm setting the record straight now. I'm ready for it.
SOS. A big SOS game.
I think they just piece it together.
Only trying chief implications.
We'll try and chief implications.
We got a special pick request here from Sandy. Would like the UCLA Fresno State game being give a quick pick on that. -11.
Look, I mean, you saw what Fresno did to Oregon a few weeks ago.
Was Oregon holding back and preparing for Ohio State?
Could be. I don't care what Oregon was actually doing. I think this UCLA team's on a mission.
The Terminator, Charbonnet,
at least through September, and I think they're able to keep it going. 10:45, 7:45 local kick out there. The P12 network, and
I've got that in my gym downstairs. P12 network is in the gym downstairs.
So you have to go down.
If anybody needs it in the Jersey City area, it's available at my gym.
I think you're gonna have to leave. Yeah, you have to leave your game early and then go watch that game. That's mine. Exactly. Or leave right from your game and watch the second half there.
In Jersey City,
I would pick UCLA. I would pick UCLA -11, and I think it's just I think they can't. Fresno will not be able to keep up in a track meet with UCLA. I would say similar, not to compare the two, but to LSU. Could be tight, but then I think UCLA too much offense there, and Chip never pulls back.
Chip doesn't pull back. It sounds
if given the option.
From watching that LSU game, Chip looks like he's back to his old tricks. He's calling the games like he's 3 steps ahead of the other guys. I mean, it's not hard to get a couple steps ahead of Ogeron, but I think Tedford will present some. Oh no, it's not Tedford, right? It's
I don't even know who their coach is now. Yeah,
no, it's the guy from Indiana. It's DeBoer. It's DeBoer, I think.
Oh yeah. You're right. I think. Yep.
I think UCLA they'll stick with them for about a half, but UCLA will wear them down with that running attack. Shades of Kelly back there with Charbonnet. So
yeah, let's make it a clean sweep. I think UCLA's got this thing rolling, 41-27.
We're getting on this train. Everybody's getting on this train way too hard. I think that they're going to come crashing to. Oh my God, what is that?
Probably, but it's fun while it lasts.
So there you go, Sandy. Thanks for writing in.
Thank you, Sandy.
Now we're going to wait for Ken to put out fires for the co-game of the week.
I literally just put it in the dryer. It says it's dry.
Doesn't seem possible.
It says it's dry. It's not dry. I'll tell you that much.
Bash them. What's your
I should have asked the guy from Birmingham if he's worked with Paul before. Or in Malzahn's office.
Next time, yep.
Next time. All right. Who's it? Is it up to me?
Up to you. You're going to bring us home.
So
7:30. What?
Did you make your pick for this game?
The Notre Dame one?
Yeah.
No, I don't think I did. I'll take Notre Dame to cover as well.
Yeah,
by 28-20.
Okay, well, I'll take that. That's a good defensive showing.
Okay. Yeah. All right, yeah. 7:30, college game day, whiteout. The greatest show, according to some, in college football.
Above the Mason-Dixon.
Above the Mason-Dixon. Where would you go below it?
I'd go Death Valley.
Which one?
Both.
Ooh.
Definitely not the Eastern one. I maybe the one
Definitely not. Definitely not.
Maybe the one in the.
Here's the question, Ken.
And the Gulf. Maybe the one
if
on
you
the
see an
Bayou.
Auburn fan, are you going to do the what happened to Rusiller one time while he was up there?
What happened to Rusiller today?
Yeah,
Best you've ever seen.
best you ever seen.
What's that mean?
He was at Penn State for a whiteout, and on the sidelines, and somebody came up to him. It was a Penn State figures.
Oh, yeah.
Best environment you ever seen.
That's like the Wisconsin guy that
Exactly. It's like a lot of places. It's like a lot of places.
It's literally the best. I'll tell you, people like Josh Pate. I think Josh Pate, that's his first time there for whiteout or Penn State game, and I'm sure he'll be glowing about it. Everybody glows about it.
Yeah, you got to do it as a joke. Maybe
I know.
An Auburn fan that's there will not get it.
Yeah, he will.
Too uptight.
Auburn fans don't, from what I understand, they don't watch any football except for Auburn, Alabama, and a select few SEC schools. They do not watch outside of the SEC.
Not surprised.
Not surprised.
But yeah, this should be an interesting game. Obviously, Auburn hasn't played too many tough snaps this season yet. They've dropped 60 on both their first two opponents, the Okron, as we mentioned earlier in the podcast, as well as
Did you see one of Okron's quarterbacks went 13 for 13 in that game, though? I was cracking up.
What was he freaking dumping him off the whole time?
Yeah, maybe 13 for 13 for 13 yards. I don't know.
Yeah, it might be. Listen, Bo Nix, from all I've gathered, he's looked comfortable. Obviously, hasn't been really pressured or in trouble. His first couple games, he's been comfortable. From my understanding, with the Gus Malzahn offense, there was never any latitude, any leash, or anything as far as autonomy given to the quarterbacks, including Bo Nix. So when Harsin got in there, he's starting from square zero, it sounds like, and trying to teach him checks at the line and whatnot. So it's just interesting. He's had a spring with him, and then he's had 2 tune-up games. But the tune-up games, he didn't really do much of that. He wasn't really pressured or needed to do too many checks when he's in there. So it's going to be interesting this time around to see if he, what he's learned since starting from ground, square zero, square one into the spring. And now he's going to be in a hostile environment. I'm not saying that he hasn't seen something like this before. He's played in Death Valley. You remember freshman year, they held that LSU team, the great LSU team, to 24 points. It was, the defense had a great showing. Bo wasn't necessarily good in that game, but he has beaten Alabama. Bo's beaten Alabama. There's probably, that alone is probably a better resume than 95% of quarterbacks out there. He's beaten Alabama. I forget he's had another good win as well. But
Oregon.
Yeah, that's right. He had the Oregon one in this first game. But he hasn't looked good necessarily in a lot of other games on the road. Against Florida in the Swamp, that was an ugly game for him. And last year he just was not good. He took a step back, it sounds like, and was not impressive. And obviously, he's a big part, along with the entire team, in getting Malzahn to move down to Orlando. Right. They have a couple of weapons on offense. Obviously, they've got the bell cow. Tank Bigsby, NFL running back. This guy, I think they haven't needed to ride him the first 2 games. He's gotten a lot of rest. I think they will definitely ride him a lot this coming Saturday. Take the ball out of square one guys' hands, Nix, and really try to limit the mistakes or the opportunities for mistakes from Nix, and force him down the throat. It sounds like Auburn's offensive guards are a little greener and haven't been as good this year, which is the first thing that Auburn poster asked about earlier in the week to the Penn State boards is how is your interior defensive line, right? Penn State has been able to utilize a couple of different people opposite of P.J. Mustafer, brother of Sam Mustafer, down there in the interior. And I think they should be decent enough. They've held up the first 2 games. Obviously, they've been much more battle tested than Auburn has been, right? I think that having seen a Wisconsin rushing attack, they should be ready to face what should be a smash mouth up the middle running attack. There's a different type of back they faced in Malusi the first time against Wisconsin, but I think they should be ready. Defensive ends, it sounds like Luquetta's getting more work there. I'm excited to see what type of pressure he can bring off the edge because I think if you hit Nix one or two times, he's going to get a little bit rattled. I think that'll be key for Penn State early on in the game. One guy to look out for on the Auburn side of the ball, they've got a couple of speedsters. The one of them, a newer guy, his name is Javarius Johnson, small guy, but a speedster. They say look out for him, very fast guy. They try to get him the ball. And then a guy that AY knows, he ended up at Cal and then at Georgia, Demetrius Robertson, now has come to Auburn. And he's former number one receiver in the country. Didn't end up at Notre Dame. But
he had a nice end around touchdown last week.
Yeah. We'll see how he does, but they got some weapons, as they usually do.
We'll see how he does.
Yeah, we'll see how he does. I don't know if he'll get the ball, honestly. Penn State's secondary is pretty good. Bo Nix, I don't know if he can even get him the ball, honestly. But defensively, like I said, on the offensive side of the ball, I think they're going to run Tank Bigsby. They're going to try to shorten the play clock, the game, and really take the game out of Bo Nix's hands so there's no opportunity to make a mistake. On the defensive side of the ball, they've got a ton of talent. I didn't realize how much of they returned. They got guys, Owen Papo, who was number one linebacker in the country a couple years ago. He's been fantastic. He's going to be a Sunday guy. Zacoby McClain, the other linebacker, has been fantastic. And they got, you remember Smoke Monday? You remember that guy?
He's Big Cat Bryant.
No, he's down in Auburn now. He's down at UCF now. They lost him.
I'm pretty sure he's only considered good because he calls himself
his name.
Big Cat.
Yeah, he's not even actually that good, though.
Go on, though.
But, yeah, Smoke Monday, he's had a number of pick sixes, a big play guy back there at safety. They'll be leaning on him. They've got another guy, their cornerback, McCreary. They're expecting to be a top two round draft pick. He's got talent down there. Some Auburn guys, I don't necessarily agree with him, but they're saying Dotson doesn't have what it takes to shake him. Well, they don't have anybody. Penn State doesn't have anybody that'll be able to beat McCreary one-on-one. It may be true, may not be, but I'll take my chance with Dotson. I've seen him do a lot of good things in the last couple of years. I've got confidence in him. But excited to see them go up against this defense who obviously has done well against these two pretty bad teams, but it's an interesting defense. Kevin Steele obviously wasn't a bad defensive coordinator last year. He almost staged a coup d'etat and took the reins. He's not there anymore. They do all right on the defensive side of the ball. Offensive coordinator is Mike Bobo, who we'll see how
that's not great.
It's not. We'll see. Listen, I think they're going to come out, like I said, be conservative, really try to shorten the clock, shorten the game, and run the ball a lot. The key will be if Bo Nix can hit a big play or two. Penn State this past week, in Wisconsin game, they were able to get a number of chunk plays. This past week, none of those. They didn't have really any down the field plays, which was nice to see, actually, them to grind out drives. They honestly should have actually put more on Ball State. They settled for a bunch of field goals. I think Stout went 3 for 4 or something like that. So 4 field goals, a lot of which were in the red zone. So it was good to see them grind out drives and have sustained drives. I think you're going to see a little bit more of that, but I think you're going to see a lot more shots from Penn State and Jursic, not Jursic. All this to say, I like Auburn to keep it close a little bit earlier on, but the 5, and I see it keep going down. I don't think the money's coming in on the right side here, and I've got Penn State covering in the end. I like them winning going away. I could see something like a 31-14 victory at the end of the day for Penn State.
Yeah, I'm concerned for the second time in 3 weeks with the line, and I obviously it was founded, yeah, from week 1. Could very well be this week, but I'm going to just stay hedging P. I think this will be my third of the night, actually. I've got 24-21 Penn State. I don't know how uncomfortable it will be for Penn State. I feel like if there's one thing the summit, I'll tell you what it is. The first touchdown scored, I would have probably bet. Maybe I'll make that my lock. Is that a thing for Penn State? I feel like win or lose in these games, they always start out pretty strong. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ken, but
They've been very good. They come out with fire.
Start strong, and then either they end up getting reeled in or almost reeled in or continue with the blowout. So, yeah, I think that's what I'm going to go with, the 24-21. I would have made it 10 points just based on what I remember seeing from Auburn last year. And I guess what, could be just with how Penn State's season went last year. Similar. They're not going to make it too big of a spread, but that's what I would make it, around 10 points. It's half of that, so.
They've got some fantastic names on this. They've got a Zacchaeus on Auburn. They've got a Bidarius and a Zacoby.
I think my favorite Auburn of all time was probably Casanova McKenzie, whatever it was. Casanova is pretty.
Casanova's a classic.
Yeah.
Hey, why were you going?
The number going down is weird. But like Dan alluded to earlier, my never picking Michigan State. If there was a third team in line here, it's always Auburn. Never really big on Auburn. And Bo Nix. I mean, we know Bo Nix's road numbers.
Oh, no, Bo. The other Bo. The new Bo.
I think he has 9 road starts. I think he has 13 touchdowns and 12 picks.
Could be better.
That could be off too, but it's something like that. It's not great. I don't think they're super great. So I guess by default, I'm going Penn State here.
Yeah.
I think Penn State's good. I mean, I don't want to just gloss over the fact that Wisconsin did have them dead to rights.
Yeah.
So I think the 31-14 is – I think that would be a perfect storm for that, but I could definitely see that just with Auburn completely unraveling.
Which has happened to Bo before. Yeah.
Exactly. I don't think they'll be phased by the whiteout. As impressive as it is, these guys have been.
They've been down in the swamp. They've been down to Baton Rouge.
They've been in Georgia. They've been in some huge things. I mean, the whiteout is one of its own. It's awesome. It's unique, and the fact that the whole thing is
neat.
It's neat. When's the last one you were at? Why was it 2014?
It was the 17-0 halftime Ohio State game that went to double overtime.
2014. That was a national championship Ohio State team.
Yeah, that was the last. That was my one and only, I think. But yeah, I think it's just too much. I think Auburn will return the favor in Jordan Hare, but this one goes to.
I plan to head down there with a new friend of the pod that I met this past week. It's got the Birmingham connections.
Is that next year?
Yeah, I believe it is. If it's not, it might be the year after that.
I think this is a classic home and home where each team holds serve, and Penn State serves first. So give me 20. I think the extra juice. I think they get a defensive score to give them 27. I think the offense doesn't do as much this week due to a good deed. So 27, 17, but not that close.
Have you seen the stats on this game? This is like the first time that Auburn has visited a Big Ten team since 1931. And
90 years I saw, yeah.
And this is only the third time a ranked SEC team has gone to play at a ranked Big Ten team.
I saw the second one. I didn't see that first one. Yeah, they're both incredible.
Yeah, the first one for that one was I think Auburn played at Michigan in 1965, and then there was a 2011 Alabama at Penn State game, right, where Penn State flew through all 3 timeouts on a 19-play drive to settle for a field goal on the first drive of the game. As Jay was throwing all those 4-yard outs, nickel diving his way down the field for that field goal.
Was that a Rob Bolden-led drive?
Yeah, yes, it was. Yes, it was. Indeed. Silas Red had a nice run on it, I believe.
We got our locks.
I've got a lock.
Go for it. Where are you going?
I feel that I'm gonna lock up the tree in Nashville.
Thought about it.
That's a good one.
I'm going Minnesota. This is the chance to talk about Colorado's performance against Texas A&M. But I'm seeing plus. I like +3, but I'll still take +2.5 Gophers. That's a tough turnaround, and I think also people may be writing off the Gophers with the loss of.
Didn't they have something weird happen in this game? Didn't they have something weird happen in their game? Also, it was like really gross until this.
Could be, yeah.
I think Minnesota had something weird happen in that one. Let me see.
Well, they were up, so I'm seeing they were up 21-3.
But then they came. I think
Miami of Ohio came all the way back.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you go.
The speaking of that,
Mac Hippenhammer had a catch.
I saw that. I didn't see that, but I've seen his stats there. Speaking of Carl Durrell and that, I think I'm off of Jimbo for this year because of not just Calzada, but it sounds like Calzada was him and Haynes King were neck and neck in the spring, and
well, King got the start.
Well, I know, and he got hurt. That's what I'm saying. But the fact that they were neck and neck, and Calzada was so freaking ass when he came in doesn't bode well for either of them. And when you go back and look at that first game for Texas A&M, also they were up like 10-7, I think, at half or something like that against Kent State. So I don't know. I mean, I think I'm out on them also. Talk about first, second game overreactions, maybe, but I'm all the way out on them. Largely
you're certainly which isn't a bad way to go, but
the fact that
you're right 100% on either of them. But
largely, what's scaring me away is the quarterback play. If they were indeed that close in the spring, and Haynes King wasn't that good to begin with, these first two games, or the first game really, and then Calzada was absolute ass the second game.
Yeah, my Isaiah Spiller Heisman campaign ended.
Yeah.
They
were 10-3 at half against Kent State. Not good.
Nope. So, AY?
I've been going all over the place on this. I was thinking Cincinnati. I was thinking
come on. You got to do it. Come on.
I was thinking Toledo.
That's
tough. We're going Cincy. We'll lock them up.
I thought you were going to do it, AY. I thought you were going to lock them up, but
Irish,
yep.
Do it.
Okay,
do it.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit surprised Ken didn't lock up Penn State. You've never wavered for months now on this.
I forgot them. Yeah. I'm locking up Notre Dame.
Oh!
the flip.
AY chucks the headgear.
I forgot about them because I never would think about it. But yeah, I got Irish. Can's got Tree.
And
then you got Minnesota.
Minnesota, yeah.
What time is
nice.
+2.5.
Do what?
I'm just getting up here.
9.
Victoria?
No.
There we go.
All right.
Are you recording here or not recording?
I'm recording now.
Bring him in.
Bring him in.
30 seconds. No, he's not coming
in. He's departed.
He's departed. All right.
There we go.
Long one, but a big personal updates this week.
Big personal updates.
Quite different ends of the spectrum.
Yeah. Very.
COVID
we both probably
bionic feats.
We probably both felt the same at similar points.
That's yeah.
That's all we got. Ken, enjoy your weekend.
Thank you.
Yeah, have fun. Drive safe. Charge up.
I hope you make it.
Charge it up. Charged up.
Hope you make it to Hines.
Yeah, I think I'm going to. It's just I'm gonna probably get a test tomorrow. Make sure I'm not spitting positive, spitting plus signs.
And I'm going to enjoy not moving.
Lots of racing, lots of football.
Yeah, just lots of non-activity. Can't wait.
That'd be good.
Okay.
I really hope Dave's watching that race at the game too.
I did too. From AY, beautiful state capital, blue state, Commonwealth, PA. Dan, to my west.
Good night, all.
Can, to my east.
Be safe out there in the fields, in the tailgating fields, in the lots.
Yeah, hopefully the weather's good. It should be good. Have fun. See you later.
See you.